so I wasn't gonna do anything with this, but I'll go ahead and tell you guys a little bit about this 1982 shovelhead that I picked up last year around November, probably around the same time that I picked that up. This is a 86 cubic inch S&S top end with the standard cases below. It's got a dyna ignition in here. As you guys can see that the heads are dual spark. Besides that, it's pretty stock. It's got the factory front end, old school. It's got a 21 in the front. It had performance machine brakes front and back, but I took off the front ones because I'm only going to ride with the rear. It's got a 5-speed transmission instead of the 4-speed. I did put in a new voltage regulator because when I bought it that was bad. You guys can see here we got the dyna coils. People say these are junk, but I mean, I'm going to run them until they give out. You guys can see here S&S cases or S&S heads. This motor probably has around no more than 5,000 miles on it. The guy that I bought this from is actually the original owner, and he ended up having some back surgery. Guy was already old, probably like in his mid to late 50s. He had some back surgery and he just wasn't able to ride it anymore or enjoy it, so he went ahead and he sold it. I got this on a pretty good deal, so he pretty much told me everything that had been done to it since he bought it to what it was now. I mean, as you guys can see, the bike is pretty torn apart already. I took off all the factory. It had the factory front fender, it had the factory rear fender, it had factory tanks on it. I believe these are still the factory bars. I have been working on it here and there. As you guys can see, I did a whole wiring delete. This is pretty much what is left of the wiring here, which is just going to be the tail light, and then whatever is going to be on the headlight. I believe the wires are here somewhere. I have them here somewhere, all right there. Let's see what else. Like I said, 21 front, factory white glide. It's got the oil cooler there. Probably gonna have to switch this out. This didn't feel too great when I was riding it. It's got the Mikuni upgraded carb, and this bike actually runs super freaking clean. I probably rode it, I want to say 20 miles from where I bought it from, but this bike actually rides really smooth, really clean. Just changing out that back tire anyways. I'm probably gonna do the Avon in the rear, and then most likely an Avon or a Firestone in the front. I really like the Speedmaster in the front, but those are kind of getting hard to come by. And then I'm gonna do that whatever the safety one in the back or whatever they call it. But went ahead and I ready to replace this because it had some some weird thing going on there that kind of matches, you know, this cover here flows a little more with it. The bike starts right up every time, but it has been sitting for a couple months now. I did kind of get discouraged for a while because I did get my Jeep and I had been off-roading, but I believe it's time now. It's starting to cool down here in SoCal. It had been, you know, high 90s and whatnot, in the hundreds, and it's starting to get back in the 80s. I don't like to ride when it's too hot, and I don't like to ride when it's too cold. So when it gets into, you know, 80s, 70s, high 60s, even low 60s, I'll still ride around. So I think now is the perfect time to get this bike back up and going. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm just gonna wash it because it's like super dusty, like legit. You guys can see we got cobwebs everywhere. I'm gonna change out these pipes because I believe this rear one had been repaired, but they forgot to weld under here, and and on the opposing side as well, like back here. So it does get the oil lines kind of hot, and I don't like that. So I mean, I could probably still get these repaired. Somebody can probably take that for me. So I might keep them as spares because I do like how they sound. But I did get some straight shotguns, and we're gonna see how that's gonna sound. But I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna wash this thing right now. There you have it, folks. Start it up, first crank.